Alright guys, RoKage here and welcome back to the brand new video. Here we are, BLEACHOB Resonance will be the topic. On today's video, we're gonna make an updated global tier list. We're gonna rank every unit in the game. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Your opinions in the comment section below, they're super valuable, so feel free to say anything. Definitely will consider all the comments for the next tier list. So we're gonna rank the characters in God tier S+, S, A, and B, pretty much the same like last time. This time around, I will use the BLEACHOB Resonance database, a Spanish one. So I'll put that in my description below and as a pinned comment because they've done a really good job and it really helps with making the videos. It is more practical. So yeah, check it out and you can translate everything to English, so no worries about that. Let me start with SR Ururu. She's spirit type, right? Dupes increase the limit of the spiritual energy reserve by 20. When you're accumulating spiritual energy, there is 50%, 30, 20% chance to gain an additional 1, 2, 3 stacks of spiritual energy reserve. Then we have dupe 3 like usual, dupe 4 increasing that technique damage. Then we have classic 5th dupe, it's the same on every character. And then the final dupe. When you launch a special attack, the damage received is reduced by 25% and it is harder to be interrupted. And there is also 40% chance that the special attack will not consume spiritual energy reserve. Low key, when you completely max out Ururu, she will be okay unit, like okay to good unit. Now we have Toshiro, she's mainly a DPS character. Performs close range attack, causing 6 hits on the enemy and dealing damage equal to 215% of attack. All normal attack can restore 1 stack of spirit energy on hit. And then when you have the special attack, she enters a aim and fire mode. I believe everyone did use her in the story for sure in the beginning, so you know what we are talking about here. And yeah, keep in mind she has that DOT capabilities. So look at this flame zone. Enemies within the flame zone will receive damage equal to 5% of Ururu's attack. Guys, definitely not a broken unit, definitely nothing special of a unit. I'm just saying, if you fully max her out, I believe her DPS then will be solid to good, but again you will use other characters. So yeah, I won't go now in full details for every character. I'll be more focused on the dupes and just like a quick explanation about the unit. I believe that will be better at this stage. Ururu, she can go to B tier, okay? I wouldn't put it higher than this, so that we can close her. And then we have Sado as well. I would place him into the B tier. I just don't see any big value from him. So let me just translate this to English. So first dupe, when you launch the attack, each hit increases the damage multiplier. So he is a DPS character. When you land a hit with a technique, Sado does 30% hit more damage. Again, third, fifth dupe the same. This one increases the technique 100% more. Technique will do 100% more damage. And when the passive transformation power is active, he will also do more damage. Mainly, like I said, thirst. DPS character where you have other and better options. Let me see a little bit passives. When Sado's current HP is below 75%, increase his critical hit rate by 20 and his critical damage by 40. When Sado's HP is below 50%, the buff effect becomes increased critical hit rate by 30 and critical hit damage by 60%. When Sado activates a perfect dodge, he immediately gains 100% spiritual energy and causes his special attack to deal 52.5% damage. Sado gains an additional attack bonus to his extra HP. yeah, I will place him in the B tier. We have so much better options than him overall. Let's move on. Then we have Renji. He's also an SR, thirst typing. With the dupes, of course, dupes will make him better, and he will do overall bigger damage because of that critical hit, critical percentage increase. Also, if you have the state, spiritual energy dissipation, the critical percentage increases by 60%. And again, more damage with the dupes, of course. And that's pretty much it. What's interesting about this character is laceration overall. So when Renji performs his special attack, he will continue to apply laceration points to the enemy. Each time laceration points accumulate to 100 points, laceration will activate once, dealing damage equal to 300% of attack. Also, Renji's laceration points application rate to the enemies will increase by 75%, and the damage caused by laceration increases by 45%. Overall, like I said, really fun unit to use and can do really good damage as SR. Now, I wouldn't put it in S tier, but definitely better than B tier. So we're gonna place him right here. Then we have an amazing SR unit, Orihime. The dupes are also really good, increasing the duration of Tsubaki's assist by 20 seconds. After casting the technique, it instantly heals the entire team for 10% of Orihime's max HP. Like, especially getting dupes for SRs will be easier, okay? So you will get dupes and she'll just become better. Third dupe, fifth dupe, the same. Also, fourth dupe, Orihime's healing is increased by 20%. And then the final dupe, when a character in the field receives lethal damage, she instantly helps them, healing them for 50% of the character's max HP and granting them 3 seconds of invincibility. Can only be activated once per stage. But oh my god, that's beautiful. Some damage here. Now, Orihime with the technique, she creates a damage absorbing shield. The maximum damage absorption value is 6% plus 720 of Orihime's maximum HP, lasting 20 seconds. While the shield is active, Orihime gains the super armor effect, which persists even after switching the character. Really good. And then the ultimate, she creates a barrier that block debuffs and instantly restore the health of all allies. The amount of recovery is 8% plus 900 of Orihime's max HP. Now let's talk about the passives. The first character you switch to after Orihime will receive Tsubaki's assist for 10 seconds. Damage of all types is increased by 25%. Her passives now are broken. Really good, really good. The power of Rappel will also additionally increase the current character's power by 18.75, and Rika's protection, Orihime's max HP, increases by 18.75. Overall, guys, in my opinion, easy S tier for her. Beautiful unit, beautiful unit. Let's move on. Then we have Nemu. She's strike, right? Let's put it on English. So increase all damage done by her by 25%, increases a base attack by 20%. I believe the dupes on her are important. When Nemu is in the full body amplification state, she will gain spiritual pressure every second. Third and fifth dupe the same. Special attack does 50% more damage with fourth copy, and then dupe 6 gain upper limb application and lower limb application at the start of combat for 30 seconds and instantly refill ultimate energy. So mainly she's a DPS character. Basic attack, she's doing the damage, right, and as well accumulating spiritual energy. Then we have Barrage, special attack. She leaps into the air and rapidly unleashes a flurry of slashes at the enemy, dealing the damage. The final strike connects that upper limb strengthening status will activate, reducing all damage taken by the current character on the field by 10%. Then we have sweeping kick. After Nemu channels his spiritual energy into leg, she unleashes 3 kicks, dealing 105% of attack damage and accumulating spiritual damage. And then we have the enhanced sweeping kick, dealing the damage again, and then she connects everything, increasing the attack of currently active character by 100. And then we have the special technique. Nemu has 2 interchangeable states: arm application and leg application. And then in different states, she does different attacks. Attack change. Nemu actively changes the current state and immediately releases the special attack corresponding to the changed state. Ultimate, again, more damage, but what's really good, she simultaneously grants all teammates an assist effect that increases damage by 7.5. That is not bad at all. Then we have full body amplification right here. She increases her attack, and that's pretty much doubling the effects, etc. But here, for her, I would place her in A tier, to be honest. Yeah, that's about that, in my opinion, because she's mainly a DPS. Yeah, she has some support value, but we just have better support units. Okay, then we have the Strike Ichigo. He's also SR. I mean, mainly you're gonna use him as a DPS. He's a solid DPS, okay DPS, nothing too crazy. Of course, with the dupes, he will do bigger damages. But that's pretty much that. Yeah, okay. Also, he self-buffs with the attacks and everything else. Fun unit to use, but yeah, better options exist. So I'll place him in the A tier. Maybe I switch 2 of them. Yeah, that's with the red part. Yeah, that's this one. Okay. Then we have the next one. He's Slash, right? Again, mainly DPS. We can double check a little bit. Again, dupes will make him do bigger damage. Perform 5 slashes on the enemy. Yeah, then we have the special attack where you have press and hold. After special attack or perfect dodge, quickly press attack button. Okay, he'll do then more damage. That's pretty much that. Each time Ichigo uses a special attack, he gains 1 stack of Reishi Gathering, which will increase the damage of the next special attack. All damage by Ichigo increases. Yeah, I was right. He self-buffs pretty much and do the damage. So that's pretty much it. I'll place him as well in the A tier. Let me now go to the next character, which is the new SR Momo. Now, she's amazing spirit support character, especially if you acquire dupes for her, which I believe you definitely did. Because if you summon for Toshiro, I believe you might have gotten some dupes, right? The maximum number of inside stack increases to 6. When she takes lethal damage instead of being incapacitated, she'll immediately recover 50% of her HP and gain 3 stacks of insight. Really nice. The second dupe is amazing. The damage inflicted by special attack increases, and then the final dupe, the damage from igniting Kido Trap increases equal to the number of stacks of insight times 10%. If the stacks of insight reach the maximum, the explosion damage increases by additional 30%. Also really fun unit to use. Really fun unit to use. Continuous swinging, and each slash can produce long-range flames. Yeah, she's like, I really thought before using her, yo, she'll be short range, but then you start playing and she's really long-range unit, dealing 4 hits of damage totaling 30%. If the enemy is near her, when attacking, it can also deal melee damage totaling 15%. Now, special attack unleashes a more powerful fire attack. This ability can ignite Kido Trap and grant 1 stack of insight to the entire party. But when the battle begins, her spirit energy will accumulate to its maximum value and will automatically accumulate through the battle. Then we have the technique. She deploys that Kido Trap at the target's location, which lasts for 15 seconds. when special attack, counter attack, and ultimate come into contact with Kira Trap, it will ignite and explode, dealing that damage. If the target is too far away, it will be deployed in front of her. Only one Kira Trap can be on the field at a time. Then we have the ultimate. She swings Tobium with all her might and unleashes enormous explosive flames at the enemy, dealing 150% damage. If the attack comes into contact with Kira Trap, it can be activated and the entire party will gain 2 perspicacity points. Hopefully that's the good translation. Counter attack. After she blocks the enemy, she will counter attack. Okay, also if the counter attack touches Kira Trap, it can be activated. The entire party will gain 1 point of insight. That's really good, but let me now go. Passives are really important. So when she uses the special attack, ultimates, and counter attacks, you will, with Kira Trap, it will activate damaging nearby enemies and granting insight status to the entire team. Each time Kira Trap is activated, its duration increases by 5 seconds. Insight. Each stack of Insight provides a 5% bonus of total power for 30 seconds. Acquiring a certain number of stacks also grants an additional increase to spirit damage. Her energy acquisition increases, and when Insight is greater than or equal to 3 stacks, the team's spiritual damage will increase by an additional 13.5%. I truly believe using Toshiro, Momo, and Rukia is the best way to go. And for the spirit team, Momo truly is the best support. For all of these reasons, I consider putting her into the S tier. Because mainly you're gonna use her to provide the buffs on the spirit team. Okay? S tier for the SR character is amazing rank, in my opinion. And she's definitely providing top tier buffs, mainly for the spirit team. If that was for every team, oh my god, she would be easy S+, okay? But yeah, amazing unit, definitely deserves to be right here in the S tier. Yachiru, she's been fixed, right? There were some problems with the character. Maybe I will double consider about Momo, but watch until the end. I'll decide. We already talked about Yachiru. Mainly you're gonna use her as a buff for the Slash team, and she's doing a fantastic job in that department. Okay, so for Bankai Ichigo team, amazing. Okay, so I will place her right here in the S tier as well. Let's go to the next one. Uryu, also amazing SR unit. I use him a lot, especially in the close battle, and he never disappoints, in my opinion. And when you get the dupes, reduce the target thirst damage resistance by 6%. Combo attack 2 or more time, he does 10% more damage. Critical damage increased. Increase the critical percentage of the field skill by 20%. When hitting a target, reduces the target resistance to thirst damage by 15%. Nice debuff right here. And then look at this. Basic attack, doing the damage. Each hit a normal attack grants 1126 energy points from your own field skill. Upon landing the fourth hit of the attack, a stack of Mark of Quincy will be accumulated. His battlefield skill is really important, guys, okay? Yeah, field ability. Reishi Convergence. When his field skill is active, it increases the damage of all team members by 15%. This part is why he will definitely go easily in the S tier, in my opinion. He immediately switches and fires a powerful arrow of spiritual energy, consuming all of the field skill energy and dealing damage. Support shot immediately switches to him and fires rapidly at the target, dealing damage equal to 126% of the target's attack. This skill does not consume any currently accumulated field skill energy. Also, we have some combat skill, attack, boom, boom, boom. The passive skill, when his battlefield skill is active, after other characters on the field release a technique or special attack, he will enter the field and launch a combination of attack once, which can be activated up to 3 times in a row. That's also really good. The critical damage of the field skill increases. He can do a solid damage as well. And yeah, currently right now, Uryu is a valuable unit in this game. And that's why I'll place him in the S tier as well. Okay, now we have Sanjin. He is strike type of a character. Mainly DPS for strike, and I truly believe he's a valuable unit, okay? Especially if you dupe him, of course, like any SSR, he will do great. When his shield is active, the character with shield will increase their critical damage by 40%, okay? 40%. Each stack of karma consumed when you cast the field ability will increase his damage by additional 6%. Third and fifth dupe, the same technique does more damage, doubles all karma gain from attacks in Bankai state, and increases the maximum to 16 stacks. Now, basic attacks, we have 2 types. He does damage when the last of the 5 strikes occurs. Tengen will attack alongside Komamura, Sanjin, and inflict 1 stack of karma. Then we have Bankai state. Fully manifested, wields a huge sword and unleashes 2 sweeps upon all enemies in front of him, causing area damage equal to 184% of attack. Each cut inflict 1 stack of karma. Technique: Komamura unleashes his own spiritual power, dealing damage equal to 102% of his attack to nearby enemies and knocking them down. At the same time, he gains shield that absorbs the damage. So mainly, he has a great survivability. He's a little bit slow overall, I would say. But he has a great value as a strike SSR. Especially if you use him properly and in the right team, he will be extremely helpful. Bankai state, fully manifested, swings the giant sword and crushes the enemy. That's super fun, causing 3 hits with a damage of 408% of attack and inflicting 2 stacks of karma. Then we have the ultimate, pretty much does more damage, okay? And synchronized move increases Komamura hit damage by 15%, okay, for 20 seconds. Now look at the field skills. When this battlefield skill is activated, the hit damage of all team members is increased by 30%. This part is absolutely amazing. Komamura battlefield skill button, this is the reason why he's in S+ with everything else I said. Komamura battlefield skill button will activate when the last character on the field other than himself uses a technique or the final hit of their basic attacks. There's a 3.5 seconds cooldown before this effect activates. Komamura cooperates with Tengen, slash with his sword, dealing 103% area damage and inflicting 1 stack of karma. After every 2 casts of the battlefield skill, the next battlefield skill will be enhanced with more powerful flaming attacks. Immediately switches to Komamura and joins forces with Tengen to sweep with the sword, causing area damage and inflicting 1 stack of karma. Now look what karma does. Each stack of karma consumed will deal an additional hit damage. Okay. Then we have the passives. All attacks from Tengen, karma up to 10 stacks. Komamura inflicts initially have 2 stacks of karma. Each stack of karma gained will cause the battlefield skill to add an additional attack. And then his crit rate also buffs when he has a shield. Also, every time you do the battlefield skill damage, the target hit damage resistance will be reduced. And as well, more stuff about the damage absorption. In my opinion, Sanjin is not the best SSR in the game, but definitely can offer a lot currently for the strike element units. And for that reason, in my opinion, he can go into S+ tier. Then we have Yoruichi. She is strike DPS. So Sanjin is more... He does the damage and everything else, but he also provides great survivability to himself and buff for the team. And then if you combine him with Yoruichi, that's a really, really good team. And she's also amazing unit. So let's go in details. Sorry. First dupe. Yoruichi gains 20% spiritual pressure each time she dodges an attack. Increases the maximum stacks of Thunder Seal to 8. Third and fifth dupe the same. Special attack, she does more damage. And here reduces the cooldown of Yoruichi's perfect dodge to 8 seconds. Each time a perfect dodge is performed, she will do more damage because of the critical damage will get increased by 30%, and it can stack up to 3 times. Whoever have her maxed, and when you have a big crit rate, you will do insane critical damage. Insane. Okay. Basic attacks. Again, mainly doing the damage on everything. She's for that, and she's looking incredible. Again, let's wait for... Yeah, with everything she does the damage. Mainly she's a DPS unit. But let's talk about the passive skills. When Yoruichi successfully dodges the enemy attack, you can press the attack button to launch the dodge attack and gain 20% spiritual energy. After launching the dodge attack, press the attack button to directly perform the 5th hit of the basic attack. When Yoruichi dodges an enemy, she can activate the perfect dodge and increase the damage of the next special attack. Each time Yoruichi releases a technique, counter attack, or special attack, she will gain that Thunder Seal, and then her damage will go up even more. Amazing unit for strike. Also, I'll place her in the S+ tier. Now, for the S+ tier and God tier, I will place the characters in order from the best to the worst character of that tier. Okay, so we go in a little bit more details in that department. Pretty much now we have insane units. Ikkaku, he's trust DPS. In my opinion, he's really good unit, really good DPS for that team. So especially if you get the dupes, of course, he will gain 100% more spiritual pressure when he attacks. All damage dealt by Ikkaku is increased by 12%. When you hit the enemy affected by wound, this effect is increased by to 24%. Wound, yeah, he does that. Damage over time as well. Dupe 3, dupe 5, the same, increasing critical percentage of the ultimate. And 6 dupe, each attack made by Ikkaku inflicts misfortune. When it reaches 8 stacks, Ikkaku's special attack will deal additional damage equal to 500% of his attack. This consumes all stacks of misfortune, and misfortune goes on cooldown for 3 seconds. This damage counts as a special attack. Again, mainly doing the damages with the basic attacks, it just depends in which state. Also causing more damage with technique. In Bankai state, he will also cause wound. Each wound will cause the enemy to suffer damage equal to 2% of his attack every second for a duration of 10 seconds, and you can stack it up to 30 times. If you play with him correctly, if you stack up that wound, he will do the damage, guys, okay? Now, with the ultimate, he enters the Bankai state, which will last for 14 seconds. At this time, all of Ikkaku's attack moves will be strengthened, and his life cannot go below 1%. In Bankai state, press the ultimate button again. Ikkaku releases all the power accumulated by Ryumon to launch an explosive and powerful blow, causing damage equal to 792 of attack and releasing Bankai state. We have some self buffs right here. Special attack damage increases and can also inflict wound. Each time Ikkaku defeats an enemy, he will accumulate 25 spiritual energy points and gain the excited state. The damage of rapier cost will increase by 22.5% for 8 seconds. Each time a special attack is launched in Bankai state, it will provide a critical damage buff. Overall, definitely not the best DPS in the game, but still something like that. Something like that, okay? S+, in my opinion. You will use him currently right now as a thirst DPS for sure. I've been using him. And in the close battle as well. Kisuke, do we really need to talk about him? I believe everything is clear. He will go into God tier. If you can get even more dupes on him, he'll just do better and better job. For sure. Each stack of ratio analysis will increase Urahara's critical percentage and critical damage by 10%. With his dupes, I believe he'll also do bigger damage than now. Okay? But mainly the dupes, what I can see, enemies near the Giga portable will take 15% increased damage for 6 seconds. I believe like if you can get to that second dupe, that's perfect. As a support value for the slash team, just perfect. So with this, he will do some damage, okay? With the technical, he'll drop a portable Giga in front of him and quickly retreats, gaining 1 stack of spiritual pressure reserve. The portable Giga will taunt nearby enemies in a wide range and explode after 6 seconds. This part can be interesting because sometimes the enemy gets on the floor and you can punch him like crazy. That's really nice. You can mess him up with this. Ultimate. Now this is the big deal. He does the damage, but he increases the critical damage of the entire team to 20% of Urahara's critical damage and 20% of critical damage with the duration of 25 seconds. That's a massive buff for entire team. And keep in mind, if you have the 6 copy, since he will have a bigger critical percentage and bigger critical damage, automatically this part will provide bigger buff. Okay, so that's the case. Yeah, actually with full copies, he will be even crazier support. That's for sure. Now, each time Urahara uses a special attack, technique, ultimate, or counter attack, he will grant 1 stack of ratio analysis to the entire team. Each stack will increase the team attack power by 10% for 15 seconds and can stack up to 3 times. Busted. Okay, let's place him here. Rukia, top tier SR Spirit tactique unit. She can do incredible damage, massive damage, and for that she can easily go on top. I would even say, or top S plus tier, as top S plus tier, easily. Especially because she's an SR character and you will get dupes for her easier, increasing the freezing points applied by the field skill by an additional 25 points. The field skill deals 30% more damage to the enemies. Casting the field skill unleashes a combo attack that has 66% chance of launching a second ice spear and 33% chance of launching a third. More spiritual damage, and cast the field skill at the start of combat. When an enemy activates breaking ice or remains within the skill area, their resistance to spirit damage is reduced by 15%. More debuff here. This is the basic attack. Now, technique. Rukia points the tip of the sword at the enemy, unleashing a blast of freezing air that deals damage equal to 168% of the enemy attack, freezing non-elite enemies for 2 seconds and applying 50 freeze points to elite enemies and bosses. Freezy points. Some attacks inflict freezy points on the enemy. When they reach 100 points, the enemy will be frozen and unable to move for 2 seconds. Okay, that's really good. And then you have the ultimate. She will spin her sword and draws a circle in front of her with the tip of the sword, forming a freezing area. The temperature in the area drops sharply, causing the damage equal to 360% of attack to enemies, freezing that lasts 4 seconds. And now, this is craziness. Her field skill. When Rukia field skill is active, the damage of all types from all party members is increased by 15%. Incredible. Rukia field skill includes 2 types of energy. Okay, Ice Shatter. When any party member attacks an enemy frozen for more than 1 second, they will cast Ice Shatter, where she will do additional damage. Also, enemies frozen by the ultimate can activate Icebreaker multiple times during the freezing period with 0.2 second interval, but only the first activator can gain the cooldown. Rukia appears on the field and unleashes a Cold Sword Surge, doing more damage and adding more points of freeze. And then we have cooldown release. Rukia inserts Sword into the ground, releasing all cooldowns and dealing damage equal to 174% of attack to all enemies and applying a freezing effect for 2 seconds. Simultaneously, an ice and snow field is generated. When any character attacks an enemy within the field, Rukia will unleash an Ice Spike combo attack, dealing damage equal to 52% of attack. This can be activated once per turn. And then look at this, passive. Some of Rukia's attack will apply freeze points to the enemy. When the freeze points reaches 100, the enemy will be frozen. During the duration of the field ability cooldown, the damage received by the character on the field is reduced and they recover HP. Each time Breaking Ice is activated, the enemy's resistance of all attack types will be reduced by 15%. Incredible unit, guys. Crazy support value at the end of the day, but as well, she can do amazing damage. Top S+ tier, in my opinion. Some people would even put her in the God tier. Okay, now Kaname. He is the unit that I decided to put this time in the God tier. I truly believe Kaname brings the highest value for the Thirst team. Okay, so let's talk about him. When the field ability hits the enemy with more than 10 stacks of wound, 10 stacks of wound will remain after the ability ends. Second dupe, increase the damage of wound from the field skill by 100%. He can do insane damage. Third dupe and fifth dupe the same, like usual. Dupe 4, Tosen does 100% more with the status damage. And the final dupe, after using the ultimate, the next 2 field abilities will not consume field ability energy. So even with his basic attack, he can do wound, okay? So he does the slashes. The fourth attack will launch enemy who do not have a super armor into air and throw 4 short needles at them, which each hit will apply 1 stack of wound. Technique, more wound, okay? More wound you're gonna apply, bigger damage he's gonna do, and you're gonna do the damage over time. Tosen activate his Bankai, that's the ultimate, and 9 rings detach from his sword, creating a massive field around him and his enemies. Nearby enemies are drawn to the center of the field, taking damage equal to 900% of his attack and applying 5 stacks of wound. The field lasts for 10 seconds. When activated, Tosen gains full energy from the field ability and resets his cooldown. Now look at this field ability. When the field skill is active, it will provide 30% increase to the damage of rapier, to the damage to the entire team, guys. Tosen appears on the battlefield to perform a coordinated attack. Its effect is equivalent to the 4th attack of the basic attack, and he also gains 25 field skill energy. This skill can only be activated once every 3 seconds, and Tosen cannot be switched out again while it is active. When the amount of field skill has reached the maximum value, this field skill will not be activated. Now, Tosen teleports to the enemy at extreme speed, that is so cool, and slashes them, dealing the damage and applying more wound. After a short delay, he will do more of these attacks, AoE. Wound applied to all enemies in the path will be resolved immediately, dealing damage in advance. If the enemy is within the ultimate area at this time, the enemy's wound stack will not be removed when calculating damage. Now look at his passive skills. All of the Tosen's attack will apply wound to the enemy. Each stack of wound will deal damage equal to 2% of the enemy's attack every second, lasting 10 seconds and stacking up to 30 times. When the field skill Lightning Strike is active, all of the enemy's wound stacks will be resolved immediately and removed. Wound. This is a universal mechanic. Stacks of wound applied by different characters will accumulate, but the damage will be calculated separately based on the attack's power. Keep that in mind. Okay, we have more self buffs. When any of Tosen's field skill hit, the enemy resistance to repair damage will be reduced by 9%, probably by thirst damage, not sure. When Tosen attacks an enemy with wound effect, each stack of wound will increase Tosen's critical hit rate by 3%. What a busted unit, and in my opinion, he needs to be in God tier. Byakuya also can go pretty much on top from the S plus tier, really close to the God tier, but yeah, I'll place it like this, to be honest. Yeah, that will be the God tier, and Byakuya is super close to the God tier, but overall I would place him in S plus tier. Byakuya, one of the most used units on my account. I have like 3 dupes on him. He works extremely good. He has a great support potential. He buffs others, and as well in Bankai state when he used the ultimate for Ichigo, that is just perfection. So let me go in more details about him. Dupe 1. When Byakuya unleashes his ultimate, he gains 30% spirit pressure. Look at the second copy, which is amazing. When in Bankai state, each time he uses a technique, he will gain determination based on the number of successful hits. Each determination increases Byakuya's total damage by 2% for 12 seconds and can stack up to 14 times. He can also do really good damage. When determination stacks exceed 8, Byakuya will gain 40% bonus critical damage. Bigger technique and by 100% more damage. When Byakuya launches his technique in Bankai state, his spiritual pressure will be consumed 50% slower. Okay? With his basic attack, he's pretty much doing the damage. It just really depends in which state. With technique, he also does the damage. During the cast, you can switch characters on the field and Byakuya will remain on the field until the attack is complete. That's also amazing. When the battlefield skill is active, you can gain 4 battlefield skill points by releasing this technique. Absolute Despair, that is in his Bankai state. Byakuya controls the wave of cherry blossoms, again, doing more damage here. Now, the ultimate. After Byakuya releases his sword into multiple blades, it will strike the enemy multiple times faster than with his Shikai, causing damage. When he enters Bankai state, his basic attacks and techniques will be strengthened. The Bankai state will last 15 seconds and will not end when Byakuya changes form. Okay? Now this is the big deal. His field ability. When Byakuya battlefield skills are active, the slash damage of all party members is increased by 30%. That's insane value. That's insane value for Ichigo. Byakuya condenses the petals floating into air, into sword, and stabs the enemy, doing more damage here. Field skill passive. Byakuya field skill button will activate within 2 seconds after any character releases a special attack, and many others. Now look at this. Each time Byakuya uses a battlefield skill, the cooldown of his technique is reduced by 1.5%. Each time Byakuya uses a technique, the damage dealt by the next battlefield skill is increased by 20%. Oh, Piercing Blade, that's the basic attack, right? Right here. And when this part is active, Byakuya will activate Final Gokei, and it will reduce the slash attack resistance of all enemies. You'll do bigger slash damage because of this as well. Also, when Byakuya battlefield skill hits an enemy, it will apply 1 stack of sacrifice. Each stack of sacrifice will reduce the enemy resistance to slash damage by 6.75 and will last 6 seconds and can stack up to 4 times. So when you use him properly, what a incredible unit. Easy S plus. 2 more units, Ichigo Bankai, insane DPS. Especially if you have dupes on him, he will destroy, but trust me, I don't even have dupes on him, but his weapon stamp is super important, and after that you will absolutely destroy with his technique. And then when you enter hollow state, literally he cannot die, you will do massive damages, and if you play him properly, he is definitely the best DPS in the game, in my opinion. Okay, especially single target DPS, right? So yeah, super fun character to use. He has a different state. I already talked about him a million times, so there is no need to talk about him again and again. You have also the build on my channel, the showcase for him and everything else, but definitely by far the best slash DPS in the game. And now for the end we have Toshiro. Toshiro is definitely the best spirit DPS, and he is the first spirit SSR DPS in the game. In my opinion, he's a must summon, especially for the people who will get his dupes. Yeah, he will go absolutely insane. But for free to play, of course you won't aim for the dupes. I believe it's really important to get his core stamp, and as well his weapon stamp gives him a bigger critical rate buff overall, and as well bigger survivability and other important things related to the basic attack. He is one of the best DPS in the game, and definitely when you have multiple opponents he will definitely destroy, plus he has that control capabilities. I already done the full review for him, but let's make it short. If you have the dupe, upon entering Bankai state, you will immediately gain 3 Ice Lotuses. All damage dealt by Toshiro is increased by 25%. Like, his first dupes are incredible. Each time a technique or counter attack is used, the critical hit rate increases by 20% for 8 seconds. This effect can stack up to 2 times. Third, fifth dupe the same. Also, the damage inflicted by technique is increased by 150%, and his 6th dupe, at the start of the battle, the Spirit Pressure Gauge fills. The ultimate critical damage increases by 40% for each current stack of Reunion. When spending stacks of Reunion, each stack consumed increases his damage of the normal attack by 60%. His basic attack is also really important for him. He will do pretty big damage, those freezing points as well. Also guys, when you're in Bankai state, he unleashes Slash of Extreme Cold and applying 10 frost points. During the release period of this technique, Toshiro will enter an invincible state, and you can click the block button to unleash a blocking attack. Keep that in mind. With his ultimate, he enters the Bankai state, and as well, Toshiro guides the flow of extremely cold air to make countless ice flower bloom above the enemy, causing 1104% damage and consuming all Ice Lotus points. Each Ice Lotus point consumed will provide an additional 6% damage multiplier. That's why it's really important to know how to play with him, so you stack up those Ice Lotuses so you do the maximum amount of damage. Also guys, when you get his critical rate with the stamps, with the core stamp, with the weapon stamp, and maybe even the dupes, when you get to 90 to 100% crit rate, oh my god, he will destroy. That's about counter attack, that's in Bankai state right here. And then here we have the explanation for the Ice Lotus. When Toshiro uses the normal attack Ice Dragon Thirst, his normal attack, technique, and counter attack are charged. Upon reaching a certain charge level, he gains 1 Ice Lotus up to maximum 8. The amount of Ice Lotus is displayed on the left side of his HP bar as a cross-shaped ice crystal, really important. When Toshiro uses his ultimate, all Ice Lotus are consumed. and then for each ice crystal consumed, the damage dealt increases. Upon entering Bankai state, each lotus will grant 5% of the ultimate energy. Casting the ultimate within 20 seconds, it also will increase that ultimate damage. When Toshiro performs basic attack while moving, he will get 1 layer of reunion, up to 5 stacks. When he uses the ultimate, all reunion stacks are consumed and the spiritual pressure builds to the maximum immediately after the Bankai state ends. Really important. Then as well we have here more buffs. In my opinion, guys, he can definitely go into the god tier. So this is my tier list, my full explanation for every character. This lasted forever and I didn't want to go in too much details, but to explain everything I had to go through this. And on this video I focused also on the dupes, something you asked me previously. That's it, guys. Thank you for all support. Leave a like, subscribe, love ya, and bye.